So we have a major problem, guys. Obviously, a lot of you who are not new to my channel, you guys know I'm a big Deadpool fan. I love Deadpool very much. He is a fantastic character, and I did like the what they did with the movies. Again, in the beginning, they messed it up. If you guys know, in Wolverine, they completely murdered Deadpool initially, and then they brought him back and they did him justice and they did him the right way. They made him the obnoxious assassin that he is. But with that being said, I have a big problem because now Deadpool 3 apparently is going to hire the She-Hulk writer Zeb Wells to co-write the entire script. Yes, you heard me right. Let me repeat myself. Deadpool 3 is going to shoot itself in the foot and is now hiring Marvel Comics and She-Hulk attorney at law writer Zeb Wells to co-write the script. This is something that worries me because, again, She-Hulk not exactly the best show known for its story. Let's just put that out there. And because of that fact, that makes me extremely worried for the future of Deadpool. And Deadpool is a character that can't be handled by people that hate all men, if you guys get what I'm saying. Deadpool is just that kind of ultra masculine character that just goes above and beyond to make sure he fucks up everybody. And again, if you're gonna put the She-Hulk writer or co-writer into there, someone who worked with Jessica Gao, then we're probably gonna have a problem. But let's see what this article from Bounding Into Comics has to say. So it says, in a move perhaps more devastating to the prospects of the film than either its existence within the Marvel Cinematic Universe or its rumored connection to the Disney Plus Loki series, the upcoming Deadpool 3 has reportedly tapped notorious Marvel television and comic book scribe Zeb Wells to help pen the Merc with a Mouth's next live-action outing. As per a March 29th exclusive from Deadline, Wells will be joining the previously announced screenwriting duo of Paul Wernick and Rhett Reese, whose filmography includes stints writing both previous Deadpool films, G.I. Joe Retaliation, and Zombieland, in carving out the popular anti-heroes franchise future. Additionally, both Karen Sony and Leslie Uggams have joined the cast, reprising their roles from the previous film and Blind Owl, respectively. So, again, I'm very worried about this. I mean, you guys can let me know in the comments down below. And by the way, if you're still watching this video right now, please help me out. Like the video. It would greatly appreciate it and help us fight the YouTube algorithm that we are currently fighting right now on the channel. Again, guys, I'm very worried about this Deadpool 3, man. Like, Deadpool should be handled with gloves off. You know what I mean? Like, Deadpool should always be handled with gloves off. Don't handle it like a kid. Don't handle it like someone who hates all men. Don't handle it with those kind of like mindsets. And unfortunately, if you're going to bring on the writer that co-wrote She-Hulk, then obviously those mindsets are going to follow, and that's going to be a death note for Deadpool 3, unfortunately. Because if the writing is terrible, then it's almost guaranteed that the rest of the movie is going to be terrible. And of course, you can have a great actor, obviously, who plays Deadpool, and now you're going to have a Wolverine who's going to return. Although a lot of people are not liking the fact that they're bringing back Hugh Jackman as Wolverine simply because they feel like they should have moved on. Like, this was your opportunity to introduce someone new as Wolverine and get people excited about it, but you had no faith in bringing someone else, so you wanted to go for the nostalgia bait and bring in Hugh Jackman. I don't really agree with that at all. I don't like the fact that they're bringing in Hugh Jackman, and I wish they did bring in someone else. And even if I hated the person who they brought in, at least they were trying to do something different and bring in someone new for the next generation of movies instead of relying on good old Hugh Jackman, who's getting too old for this role and is not caring about it so much like he used to. But again, that's neither here nor there. So it says this new screenwriting trio will be writing a new treatment of the film unrelated to the one previously developed by Wendy Molyneux and Lizzie Molyneux Logelin, two sisters whose most notable credits are roughly 30 episodes of Bob's Burgers. And while their replacement by at least two writers, Wernick and Reese, who have shown to possess at least some understanding of how to craft an enjoyable film, is a welcome development for the film, Wells' resume doesn't exactly inspire optimism for the final product. Beginning his career as an occasional fill-in writer for various Spider-Man related titles throughout the early 2000s, the latter half of the millennium's first decade would see Wells eventually graduate to providing full-fledged writing duties on such titles as Civil War, Young Avengers, Runaways, Amazing Spider-Man, and the third volume of New Warriors. Then around 2008, Wells would find even further career success when he added to the production team for the Cartoon Network stop-motion animation series Robot Chicken, which he served as a writer, director, and voice actor up until 2016, at which time he left to produce his own stop-motion parody series, Super Mansion. And while many may appraise Wells' early career output as anywhere from fine to somewhat enjoyable, recent years have seen his creative energy seemingly evaporate. And I wonder why that is. Like, anytime these people start to lose their creativity, it's probably because they're A, becoming stagnant, or B, surrounding themselves with people who are stagnant, right? So imagine being in the writer's room of She-Hulk, right? Where you're surrounded by Jessica Gao and whatever other fucking losers that made She-Hulk. And you're surrounding yourself with those kind of people who are creatively, unbelievably bankrupt to the point where they thought they were owning the fans by making the fans the enemy of the show, right? Again, imagine surrounding yourselves with people like that and them influencing you to the point where now your creativity is based around those kind of ideologies. It's only a matter of time. Yeah, you may not have been that way in the beginning, but when you surround yourself with those kind of people long enough, it starts to become a hive mind. That's why so many like big cities are infested with like the hive mind, where they are all basically thinking the same way. It's a true thing where if you have a bunch of people who are all very in close proximity with each other, they all start to think the exact same way. And that kind of comes off in the writer's room as well, where everybody's kind of feeding off ideas to each other and thoughts to each other, and they all start thinking the same exact way and they make the same bullshit. And unfortunately, that just means that it's not going to be something that's interesting for Deadpool 3. It says, returning to the larger Hollywood fold in 2019 following the end of Super Mansion, Wells would be tapped by Marvel to write both the 7th episode of their wildly panned She-Hulk Attorney at Law series, wherein Jen attends the Abomination's self-help retreat in an attempt to distract her from the fact that her crush is not texting her back, as well as co-write the upcoming The Marvels, which production rumors currently suggest is in complete shambles due to its constant need for rewrites. I'm not even going to talk about the Marvels right now. I've talked about them a few times before in other videos. There's no need to talk about it in this video, but you guys already know that the Marvels is looking really, really, really bad, and they are so desperate to want to make Miss Marvel a relevant thing, but nobody likes Miss Marvel. It says, but it is within the realm of comics that Wells has committed the most erroneous of his recent creative offenses. In 2021, Wells was assigned as the writer for the core Amazing Spider-Man title, kicking off Web Slinger's Beyond storyline, and brought fan-favorite hero and the Scarlet Spider himself, Ben Reilly, back into the heroic spotlight, having him temporarily return to the mantle of Spider-Man proper while Peter was indisposed. However, in typical Marvel fashion, Wells would end his first proper run on ASM by not only wrecking Ben's life in order to return things to the status quo, but by absolutely bastardizing his character for cheap drama and turning him into yet another villain whose entire identity can be summed up as generic evil Spider-Man. So again, nobody has a lot of faith in this man, and ultimately I don't either. I'm not really a big fan of the recent comics, so I'm not really going to care what he did on the comic book sector. I only care about what he did in the actual TV show and entertainment sector, and if he had anything to do with writing She-Hulk, which apparently he was the co-writer, which is a pretty big title, then I'm not having a lot of faith in what's going to happen with Deadpool 3. But ultimately, only time will tell. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy, and if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.